Great. And speaking of alternative sports, do you want to talk about chess?
Yeah, so I have a follow up there. I don't know if you have one or just what I put there.
Go ahead. What were you going to say? So we talked about the background is we talked about chess.com last episode. I tweeted about it because I was even more
People
interested
love
in
that
it.
tweet, dude. That tweet had tons of engagement.
It was good, and the summary of this is that we underestimated it. So chess.com gets around 200 million monthly uniques. They have 60 million registered users. They traffic has grown significantly. If I had to guess, they do at least 100 million in recurring revenue, subscription revenue. Potentially is worth $1 billion. Super fascinating company. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
So we were trying to hype it, and we actually were underhyping, even though we were trying to hype it. And by the way, the guy who started is like a ex-Stanford guy, or the guy who owns it. There's two, I think, Stanford guys, which is cool. Like, they didn't go the same track probably as 95% of their classmates, and they're going to outperform 99% of them just by doing something really simple that the world wanted. So I started thinking about this because we talked about it. You brought it up. Cool topic, cool bit, really cool business. It really fits what we call the New Zealand type of business that Andrew Wilkinson kind of coined that phrase, which is it's this independent thing. It has like a cult following. It's profitable. It's simple. It's not, nobody competes with it. It's like New Zealand. Nobody's going to war with chess.com. The biggest competitor, I think, is called Lichess or something like that. It's basically like an open source, free, like kind of like alternative, and it's also doing extremely well. And those are like the two. But it seems like people kind of prefer chess.com. So I started thinking, okay, what's the next chess.com? What are the others? Is there a whole slew of these guys? Because I think that's where we didn't talk about last time that we should have. And so I wanted to double click in a little bit. So I started.
And that's a really, really hard question. I've been thinking about it too. I only came up with like dominoes. I looked into solitaire websites. A lot of them crush. But yeah, that's a hard question to ask.
So I only spent 10, 15 minutes on it, but that was enough to tell me something very interesting. So the first one that came to mind was, because here's the characteristics that you need. You need a game played by tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of people that is not owned by a brand. Chess works. Checkers also works, but the problem with checkers is it's so simple that it's not as like there's not as much depth to it, therefore not as much of a like kind of like money made and passion around the sport. Sudoku was the second one that came to mind. So I went to Sudoku.com, and Sudoku.com, it's just like chess.com. It's like you go to Sudoku.com and there's already a Sudoku board waiting for you with clock going, and it's like, oh, play. Here it is. You don't need to download. You don't need to sign up. You don't need to do anything. Just play Sudoku. I love that. Then you scroll down a little bit and you see like this advertisement for like a mobile app, a mobile Sudoku app. So I clicked that. I'm like, I bet this is an amazing distribution for this app. App crushes. So this is a company called EasyBrain behind it. So the Sudoku app that they have has 50 million downloads on just Google Play. Forget about iPhone. That's just Google. That's just Android. So probably 100 million total lifetime downloads. The website itself gets 10 to 20 million visitors a month. So they're getting basically free traffic to their mobile apps where they're able to monetize. And EasyBrain basically they're like a mobile app developer that makes these apps. They've had over 750 million downloads lifetime of these little simple number game apps, starting with Sudoku, then like a remix of Sudoku, then like another number game if you like that one. And they just cross promote them within each other. I bet this company is crushing it. They're based in Europe, looks like.
I have information on them. I just found some interesting stuff. When I Googled them and went to the website, there was something amazing about them that immediately stuck out. And just this quick Google, I'm wrong, but it is based in Cyprus. Anytime a company is based in Cyprus, it's like it turns out these guys actually are from like the Belarus. They're actually from this area, but they're based in Cyprus. So I just Googled it real quick. So do you know that they were acquired 3 months ago?
No, I did not know this. So that's the other piece.
I have their revenues, I have their profit, and I have the all their user numbers, and I have.
Can I guess?
How much
I'm going to be totally wrong, but I like to guess. By the way, little tip: always guess before you hear any number. That's how you get good at knowing numbers, because you guess, and then when you're wrong, your brain remembers that shit, and you start to hone that gut instinct. Okay, so here's my guesses. I'm going to guess.
Well, how much were they? What's their revenue?
I'm going to guess that their revenue was $400 million a year.
Okay. What's their profit?
$90 million a year.
Pretty good. All right. How much were they acquired for?
I'm going to guess that they were acquired for $852 million.
Okay, and how many daily active users do they have across their 15 games?
I'm going to say they have 25 million DAU.
Okay, so
How did I do?
You didn't do horrible. Okay, so Easy Brain was acquired this most recent February. They were acquired for $640 million in stock and up to $125 million of additional consideration if they hit it. So 640.
Yeah, what is that? Isn't that exactly 850?
No, what's 640 plus 100 is 740 plus 25 is 765.
Okay. 765.
So great job. You guessed 850. Great job. You're almost there. Their revenue is in 2020 revenues were $210 million.
Okay,
so you were off there by half. You guessed 400 million, but their profit was 70 million. You guessed 90.
Right.
Pretty good. They've had 750 installs over the course of the lifetime of all their games. They have 15 live games with 12 million daily active users. You guessed 25 million.
Okay,
not bad.
Not bad. What a company. So that was the first one I thought of. And by the way, I think that there's other versions of that. Like, I don't know, go look at SudokuOnline.com. I don't know. What's that? Like, all the things people are going to Google search. If you can get the top level domain for those, that's really interesting. So then I started looking at some others. Poker.com. So I went to Poker.com, and Poker.com is kind of like this crappy, just describe what you're looking at when you go to it.
Let me look at this. But you can't, this isn't actual poker, right? This you're not betting?
It's not even you can't play there. It's just like reviews. It's like an affiliate site. So it's like, oh, here's a place to play poker. Here's where you can go, because they get big kickbacks for basically sending a player to PokerStars or wherever if they deposit. And so
this is horrible.
Horrible website. Crappy kind of like affiliate and reviews site. Dude, you could do so much more with this website. Like if somebody was like, dude, if you have a mobile poker app that's good, I would pay ungodly amounts of money for Poker.com. I think that's and they also, if you do their traffic search, see what they get.
It's nothing.
So they should be getting a lot more traffic having Poker.com. Okay, so then there's some other ones. Crossword puzzle.